What's up? Magic Mike in the mix. You're tuned to the Magic Show Deluxe. We got an artist here all the way across the river, you know what I mean? The big ocean. We got my girl, Persia UK, all the way from London. What's going on, my girl?
Manchester, Manchester.
Manchester. You're Manchester now? Okay. I know you're from Manchester, but I didn't know where you at. Because most of the artists are in London when they do their business, right?
No, no, look, I'm say, yeah, you're not the first person. A lot of people think I'm from London. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got this hot single right now, Rain. But folks, let me tell you where I spot this artist here, this queen, this princess from the UK. I was like going through my social media, Instagram, and descriptions in the bio, her descriptions in the bio too, her social media, and I came across Dr. G. Big ups to Dr. G. And it was a show out in England. It was with Onyx. And I saw this young lady on the stage doing some boom bap. Now, girl, you're so versatile. Let's talk about that. How did you get into the game, and how are you so versatile from doing trap music to drill to boom bap, even some R&B here and there?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, yeah. First and foremost, I'm a rap fan. Like, I don't know if you can hear it in my bars or my style or whatever. Like, I'm a hip hop fan. Like, I've been listening to hip hop since I was 16, like, studying the greats, like, really, really, like, geeking out on it. So, like, when it comes to rap, boom bap is probably my favorite thing. Like, trap, I kind of try and do to stay a bit more relevant. Like, because I think sometimes the boom bap can be forgotten a little bit as a genre, and people only really listen to like the hype shit. So sometimes I'll do the trap here and there. My heart is with the boom bap, really, if I'm honest, like proper hip hop. But I'll be honest, the root of it is really like being a student and being a fan and being uh obviously for me as well, like hip hop really resonated with me because like I'm an immigrant in my country, like I'm a Persian girl who doesn't really fit into my surroundings. Like no one looked like me where I grew up. The only thing that really resonated with me was rap culture and hip hop culture and that kind of being able to speak your voice, especially as a Persian woman, as obviously being Iranian. Like in Iran, women can't speak the way I'm speaking openly like this. So it's a big thing, I think, rap. That's what brought me to it, really, is like my love of rap.
So let's talk about your earlier years in Manchester, right? Your parents are from Iran. Okay, they moved to Manchester. And how was that, the upbringing? Were you on the rough side of Manchester or the good side?
Yeah, so I was, so my parents, yeah, my dad's a surgeon, yeah. So he's a very educated man. But obviously, when you're an immigrant, you don't know what the good areas or the bad areas in a country are. You just move somewhere. So I think my dad just moved us into the biggest hood in the middle of Manchester, yeah, and didn't really realize. But yeah, I grew up in a place called Longside. It's not like a nice area, obviously. A lot of drugs, a lot of poverty, a lot of violence, that type of thing.
How did you air it? Like, so now, okay, you're in the area, you got into hip hop, things of that nature, and you're on the BBC Radio 1. Okay, so when your track, what track was released on the radio? And how did your community take it now? They must have took you like, yo, this girl is serious.
Yeah, basically, if I'm honest, a lot of my tracks don't really make radio because I swear a lot in my bars, and probably should try and not swear as much and use profanity, but I just want to be as real as I can, so I try and just use it where I feel like appropriate. But because of that, a lot of my tracks are not radio with, and I don't really do like radio kind of edits and stuff. So this track had no swear words in it, I think, just by accident, and it's a track called The Rebirth. I think they play. Actually, I've got a few swear words in it. I think they might have edited themselves, like the swear words out of it. But it's a track called The Rebirth. There's a video on YouTube for that. And that's just straight bars, no chorus, just like, I think it's like 68 bars or something. It's something ridiculous.
And you know that must have been an amazing feat. Now, how did you meet up with Dr. G? Is Dr. G your main producer? Big ups to Dr. G out in the UK, one of the hottest producers in the world, right? I've interviewed him when I first started radio back in 2010. Yeah, I mean, I've been all over the place, multiple stations, and working on multiple stations. How did you meet up with Dr. G?
So it's funny, you know. So basically, as an artist now, a lot of the people I work with, I grew up with from a young age. So I've known Dr. G since high school. So I must have known Dr. G from when I was like 13 or onwards type thing. Nothing to do with music, just as socially. And the same thing with my producer, JSD. So the person that produces all my music is a producer called JSD. Shout out Jay, my best friend, my producer. He's such a talented rapper as well. Like, but basically, JSD and Dr. G, I knew from a really young age, from being like a teenager, and we didn't know we were going to go on to make music and work together. It just happened to be like that I know him as a person, and he shouted me obviously for the Onyx gig. So there's not a lot of girls that do kind of boom bap rap, and I think the lineup was heavily masculine, and he was like, yo, P, and there's no girls on the lineup, like, you do this kind of shit, like, come and jump on the set. So obviously I'm not going to say no. Legends in the game, like, I was dying to support Onyx. Like, I was like, yeah, you didn't have to ask me twice, you get me? So yeah, it was sick, man. So I've known him for a long time. Dr. G, man, he's my bro.
How was it on stage before Onyx came on as you the opener?
Well, you know, obviously, like,
How did it
when you know,
feel? Like, first of all, that's a big show, right?
yeah, when
So
Onyx
let's
came
take it
on,
from the start, okay? You're in the club or you're in the arena,
yeah.
and you're about to go on. Okay, let's start from there. How were you feeling? How was your heart pumping?
So obviously, like, when it comes to doing shows and stuff, yeah, because I've been doing music for a long time, I don't get like anxious anymore. I just get excited. So obviously, I was excited. And coming before I act like Onyx, obviously most of the audience don't give a shit about you, yeah, because who are you? Like, they're just waiting for Onyx. So obviously you've got to kind of really bring some energy to the audience to kind of even engage them, because they're just thinking next, like, I want my artist to come on. Like, I'm the same, like, if I'm at a show, if you're going to see like Wu-Tang, you want to see Wu-Tang, you don't want to see some other guy. Like, so in a
Yeah.
way, you've got to captivate the audience.
But
And I think
sometimes the openers are better than the main act. Okay,
yeah,
I've been there.
you're right. You're right. It can happen. It can happen. Yeah. But I think obviously I knew that wasn't going to be the case, because you know Onyx shut it down and like the energy, everything. So I've got to bring some energy myself.
Of course.
But yeah, I think for me naturally. Obviously, like, I've got a natural shock factor because I'm a female as well. Like, people don't expect me to rap the way I do, and yeah. So I suppose people are kind of shocked. I think.
This Describe the UK hip hop scene. Describe it for us, because all we're seeing is grime coming out of there. We've been seeing a lot of drill. And if it wasn't for the UK, hip hop wouldn't be the way it is right now. Big influence, right? A lot of the Americans, a lot of the Canadians over here, we like to take it and say, "Oh, it was over here. We started in Chicago and things of that nature." But it came right out of the UK. Describe the UK hip hop scene in this segment here.
I would say, like, the UK hip hop scene, like, if I'm honest with you, as someone who is like a wordsmith and I love bars and I love like clever lyricism and, multisyllabics and just clever shit with lyrics. Obviously, when it comes to the UK, there's loads of rappers that are that level, but I also think that, like, hip hop, as in not talking about grime, but hip hop itself, like, it's probably in its infancy a little bit still in the UK, because it's not reached maturity the way it has in America. Like, you guys are perfecting the craft almost that's
Hmm.
grown to maturity for many years. In the UK, I think only maybe the past, I'd say maybe 10 years, I've seen hip hop really like have a strong kind of rise. But I think now there is a solid scene. I think the problem is obviously like a lot of there needs more investment in the arts, kind of in the arts in the UK. We need more investment for artists. Obviously, things are expensive when it comes to like funding your music career. So it's difficult. But the music scene in Manchester, I think, a lot of the time there's like either camps or people are just working in little silos or working individually and stuff. I think it would be good if people collab more, work together, and kind of built a scene together a bit more. I think in London,
Everybody has their own little squads, right? Like, is there a lot of haters? Like, do you get a lot of, is it like, is out here, what I mean?
I would
Thanks to
say,
50 Cent, what I mean? There's a lot of hate in hip hop where, you can do memes now and everything.
I wouldn't say there's loads of haters, yeah, but what I would say is that obviously as an artist, when not a lot of people have made it from your city, it's a bit of a crabs in a bucket mentality, probably. Like, people are not willing to no one wants to shine a light on you and your craft if they're not
Hmm.
making nothing, or they're not doing, their music's not doing nothing. Like, it's almost as if, like, why it's not in anyone's interest to say, look at this other person who's talented. Like, so people just won't, not out of haterism, but more out of self-interest probably, and just thinking of themselves and thinking more like I need my shit to blow type thing rather than trying to help other people. But I think it's probably because, like I say, not enough people from the UK are making it. There's so much talent, like, and you might see one or two artists like the Central Seas and the here, you know, the Dizzy Rascals and the here and there. You see like little artists here and there. But from the UK, there's so much talent, you know, similar to the, you know, the US and Canada. There's so much talent, and you don't get to see a lot of it because, you know, it's a bit of a difficult game to get into, as in even having the contacts, the money, being in the position to even do it. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. So let's talk about the Park Life Festival, one of the UK's biggest music festivals, and you had a chance to hit the stage there. That was nice. I saw some footage of
Yeah.
that. That's nice.
Yeah, so yeah, man, that was good. It was good. And obviously, like hitting big stages like that, like
Like
I
what? Like
went.
what, let's talk about that. Like how long's it been around for the Park Life Music Festival?
Part Life's been around for God, I don't know, maybe at least 10 years, I think.
10 years. Okay. Okay.
Over that, maybe longer than that. But yeah, it's a massive festival, and obviously it's an honor to like get a chance to perform at it and stuff. And it's always good to kind of change the surroundings you're performing in and perform to bigger crowds and that type of thing. So it's all practice. Like any day, you could just get that call and you've got to be ready. So any kind of practice at performing, being in front of people, being on stage, like I just
Yeah. So what
I
about? Let's talk
just
about your
take
track "Rain." We're gonna
it.
we're gonna play that video. Those of you watching, YouTube and wherever we're streaming this, what I mean, you're gonna see the video, but also on the radio, you're gonna hear the audio, right? Let's talk about "Rain" now. That's your latest single.
So Rain is not my latest single. My latest drop is actually my album, The Alchemy of Pain. So Rain was one of my first singles that I dropped like a couple of years ago. But it's
Okay.
the my album doesn't have any videos to it, so sometimes I think drops kind of go a little bit missed when you haven't got visuals for it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but basically, The Alchemy of Pain is my last drop. Rain is a sick project. Like the video by Theo Blackledge is a cold video. That's produced by JSD as well. But it's a cold song. It's a sick video. There's a lot of my camp there. So a lot of the people from my label that I work with and my producers in that video as well. So, and that's set in Manchester as well.
Who do you want to collab? What's your dream collabo?
Dream collabo, yeah. J. Cole, definitely.
Oh, really? Okay, let's talk about who are some of the artists you grew up listening to? Like, we know you want to collaborate with J. Cole, but who's some of the others that you grew up listening to and you're like, man, I got my inspiration from it?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. When I was growing up, I was a nerd, right? But when I came down to studying rappers, I think the people that I studied the most probably were like Tupac and Biggie, but in equal parts. Like I wasn't one of those people that was like on the camp of like Tupac or Biggie. I must say, like I was more of a Tupac fan a little bit, if I'm honest, because I think Tupac gets your heartstrings a bit more than Biggie does. Biggie's more like cocky bars and cheeky shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes
yeah. Tongue
it makes you
twisting.
feel good. You feel
Yeah.
good spitting the bars and stuff, but like Tupac got your heart. You felt like you knew him. You feel like he was your friend. You know what I mean? Like, and I think because of that, like I think Tupac really influenced me. And like as a kid, I must have been like maybe 16 when Tupac died.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously I'm of the generation when Tupac was alive, so to us like it was so mad, like this big artist passing away. I went through a depression as a teenager. I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think I came out of the room for like a week. But Tupac, Mobb Deep, Lauryn Hill, um, DMX, Jay Z, Foxy Brown, um, Jean Grey. I've
Oh,
loved it.
yeah. Don't forget about Jean Grey. Very underrated.
Yeah. Jean Grey, cold, cold, cold. And you know another girl that I love right now, yeah,
Yeah.
who I think is so cold. And if you know me, yeah, people will say, I just don't like anything. I'm being a hater. But I swear to God, I don't like anything. So when I
Hmm.
say something's cold, like it's cold, yeah, like
Yeah.
you know a rapper called Shay Noir.
Shay Noir sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
She works with 38 Special. She's so cold from
Yeah.
America. She's a US rapper.
I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna look her up. Yeah.
Listen, she's one of my favorite artists. I just think she's so cold. She makes beats. She's so intelligent. Her bars are sick. Yeah. So there's a lot of artists that I rate that maybe are not people that everyone knows who they are, maybe. But for me, it's about skill and talent. And real honing your craft to the point where you're really like a master at it.
All right, so give off your social media. How can they get a hold of you and stream your music and find out more about you? And what else do you do?
Okay, okay.
Wait. Tell us your
I
social
don't know if
media
this
and
is
let's
gonna
find out
work
more
yet.
about you.
I don't know if this is gonna work yet, but if you can scan that, I've got all my socials are related to this. So I don't know if this is gonna work, but scan it with your phone. It's a QR code. If not, um, then my socials are on Instagram, it's at Persia.uk. So Persia spelled as in Persian Empire, like Persia.uk. And most platforms it's Persia.uk or Persia, some variation of Persia. All of my links are on my Instagram, to my Spotify, to my YouTube, to everything. Obviously, my album, Alchemy of Pain, has been released like not too long ago, just August last year. So yeah, run that up, and yeah, we've got
It
some.
looks like you're having fun. What time is it right now out in the UK?
So in the UK, it's 5:15.
Quarter past five. Over here, it is quarter past 12. Hourly difference, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hours, hours ahead of me. So, what do you got to say to the young females coming out right now, or just females in the industry that want to try and get into it?
What I would say, if I'm honest with you, yeah, is I think it's a very, very difficult industry to get into, and unless you're a very strong character, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're a very, very strong character. Like I might seem soft and sweet sat here, but anyone that works with me knows like I will say I don't like that or I'm difficult. Like people will call it being difficult. Like I kind of understand people like Nikki when they talk about like when you act like a boss, they say you're being a bitch, but like when a guy does it, like because it's the truth. Like as a female, when you start saying in a male environment that you don't like something, your opinion sometimes isn't as respected as a male's opinion and things like that. So I think you've got to be a very strong character to stand by your vision and what kind of music you want to make, and even things like for the young girls out there, like as an artist, you're gonna get guys saying, "Come studio," and all they want to do is pull out a brandy bottle
Take
and
game to you and play around, and
yeah,
no
they
work's
want to pull out a
being
brandy
done.
bottle.
You know?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a date, yeah. It's the next thing you know, it's a date or something, yeah. And you're like, what? Like, I thought we were making a song, yeah. So when I was young, I bought my own studio equipment. So like, you can't see it from here, yeah. But obviously, like in my kitchen, yeah, I've got my speakers there. I've got my
Nice.
PRK case
You
in the back,
cooking, you
yeah.
definitely cooking up. If you got a studio in the kitchen, this girl got a studio in the kitchen. She be cooking things up on a reel. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, is the reason why I bought my own studio equipment is because like when a guy shouts to you and his only intention is to like come on to you and he's pretending he wants to make a track. When you say to him, "Well, I've got my own studio, I'll record the vocals and I'll send it to you," it kind of overrides any bad intention anyone can have. Like, not saying all men can have that intention. Obviously, like some men will totally just want to make the track and are absolutely normal human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But you will get people using that as an opportunity to kind of like take advantage maybe and whatever. So you've got to be careful as a girl, like who you work with, to earn your respect in this game, because it's a masculine game and you do have to earn respect in the game. Like men don't respect you for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a woman, you don't just get respect handed to you. Like you have to earn that when it comes to a masculine field like rap.
Wow. And like you said, you definitely got to have a backbone in this game, you know? Some people actually
Yeah,
stay for that, eh? They do what the producer says, they get caught in the web, and it's just domino effect from there, you know? So
yeah.
it's a pleasure to have you on. What do you do besides the music? I know some people do car sales, some people model, you know what I mean? Some people lift heavy equipment, you know?
But what's funny is my day job. I work in education. I'm a safeguarding person.
Okay, nice. So you work with
So
all the
I work.
children, you work with some children and stuff, the young ones?
Yes, I work with the kids who are like kids in care, kids who are young offenders, kids who've got mental health issues, any kids who've basically got any issues that they might need support with, that type of thing. So I do that in the daytime. And yeah, that's how I fund my music career. That's how I. So it's the same thing going back to the musicians. Like a lot of the time, like you don't see that side of it, as in I go and do a day job to be able to do this. Like music doesn't support my life. Like there's no way I could be able to pay with my bills with music. But I've got a backup plan where obviously even if that doesn't blow, I'm still going to be okay, you know. So obviously, like it helps as well because I've not got a label behind me paying for my stuff, so I can pay for my own studio time. I can pay for my own videos. Obviously, it's more difficult because of that. Because if I had a label to pay for it, it'd be a lot easier.
One
But
other thing you did forget to say, it's very expensive too. You got to have some financial, backing when you're into the music industry, you know?
right,
Right?
right.
That way there you
Oh,
can walk out of a studio if a guy's trying to hit on you, be like, I don't need him. I got my own thing, you know?
right, exactly. The thing is that like, yeah, it does take financial backing, and unless you're going to physically do that yourself, obviously you need someone to back you financially, because it's all a lot of money, like music videos, studio time, graphic designers, everything costs money. Like, no one wants to do shit for free. So even you get to a point where you're doing a video, no one wants to turn up to your video for free. You've got to pay each model to stand there, and they ain't gonna stand there for free. No one's gonna stand in the
Yeah.
cold on a Sunday at 4 a.m. in the cold for free. Like you've got to pay people. Like so, in a way, yeah, it drains your money, but when you love it and you really believe in what you're doing, then it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like.
You know what, Persia UK, it's such a pleasure to have you on. Every Sunday I do all my interviews, right? I got like literally 7 interviews to bang out, you know what I mean? But it's such a pleasure, you know. What do you like to cook? Like, what's your favorite dish? You like that Jamaican food? You like that curry
Okay,
goat and you like the ackee and saltfish, huh?
how do you know that? How do you know
Because you're in
that?
the UK and the yard man them in the UK, we know how to run.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, yeah, because I'm Persian, obviously, yeah. Persian food
I
is
love
like
Persian food too as well, man. Oh,
right.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
Persian,
yeah.
I rap for the Persian food, yeah. But if I tell you that my second best is definitely Jamaican, I can cook Jamaican like an actual Jamaican person,
Oh
like
wow,
every.
really? Okay. So let me take it. You deal with Jamaicans. You got Jamaican friends. You grew up
Yeah, Jamaican friends,
Manchester.
like
Man, you're
around
from Manchester. What do you expect?
like, around Jamaicans and Jamaican culture. The school I went to was massively like predominantly like a black school, like so
Hmm.
obviously we're really like affected by not just Jamaican black culture in general, as in African and Jamaican culture, like
Hmm.
both, Like, it was very like mixed my school, but obviously like music overall, like rap was probably like something that came out of being in that
What
type of
about the what
school.
about the dance hall? You see how Vibes Cartel go on? Eh? He
Listen,
was over in the UK at the Moby Awards, huh?
I was gonna say to you, right, I love rap, yeah, and hip hop obviously is my favorite genre. But if I was gonna say second favorite genre, it's got to be like it's. I can't really decide between reggae and dancehall because reggae
Hmm.
has got a place in my heart. Like
That's
I
right.
can't.
Some people think it's one genre. It's two separate genres. No, there's many genres. You got ska, you got
Dancehall's
lovers
more like
rock.
hype. Reggae is like calm, like it's just calm, like
Yes.
it's
But
more
isn't
of a
that
chill.
but isn't that crazy though? That Vibes Cartel, big ups to Vibes Cartel. Hopefully get him on here and hopefully you get like a feature with him. But he did 13 years and he's in the UK accepting an award. Some people say he got robbed for that Grammy because Bob Marley, he won it, is always winning it. But reggae and dancehall are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What do you think about it? And Sidam, big ups to Sidam, behind Vibes Cartel. What do you think about the whole thing? What do you think about the whole thing? Yeah?
The whole, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of odd. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Sidham put Middle Eastern gal on the map though, because since Sidham started going out with vibes, I keep getting people coming on my live saying like Sidham,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because like it's like she's put like Turkish Middle Eastern type of gal on the map here a little bit like, but um. But yeah, man, big up Vibes. Vibes is obviously like in the dancehall world, like is a legend. You know what I mean? Like going back to when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like Vibes has been in the game, and but I do think, like you say, like it's not the same thing. Dancehall and reggae very much for me are like two different genres. Like as much as they're very interlinked and obviously like influence each other massively or whatever, I
Hmm.
don't think they're exactly the same thing. If you know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
similar to like grime and rap. It's two, even though it's similar, it's a different genre. Grime,
That's
like
right. That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I gotta try. We gotta get you out to Canada. You know, what I mean, we have to. And so any more shows coming up? What's in store for
Yeah, yeah.
Persia UK for 2025?
So I've got a show coming up on the is it the 14th of March It's Illa G, supporting Illa G. He's a US artist.
Illa G, big
Oh,
ups to Illa G. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah, so he's coming to the UK. That's through Dr. G again and Rapbox and then
I gotta say one thing about Dr. G. He's grown from a producer to an event planner. You know what I mean? Like I went to his Instagram the other day, right? I'm like, what? He's bringing all these people in, so he's known as a producer. He can get the artist right off. It's like, okay, we got, let's
that's
say J. Cole. We got J. Cole coming to the UK. I'm gonna handle it. So he goes and handles it and says, yo, J. Cole, listen, I'm a beat maker. So he's grabbing him right up front. You know what I mean? You're in a good place. You're in a very
it's
good place right now.
G. Dr. G is the plug. Dr. G
Yeah, is the plug,
Dr.
basically.
He's the plug. He just knows people. Like he's been that guy. Like I say, the day of the show, guy was just like, "Come, let's go to the hotel, meet Onyx." Yo, I got to meet Onyx. I got to meet Sticky
hmm
Thing.
hmm I've met
Yeah.
I've met Sticky Fingers and Fedra Star. You know, they came to Ottawa twice. You know, but I didn't. You know, like you're on stage with them, and it's a whole different appeal.
No,
So,
you know what? Well, they're really nice guys. You know, both of them were like really chatting to everyone, being really friendly, really taking pictures of people. And yeah, man, it was nice to meet them. It was nice to have a little chat. I had a little chat with both of them about rap, about music, that type of
hmm
thing.
hmm
Like it was nice to kind of be able to talk to like artists maybe that I grew up with, like that I was inspired by, like legends. You know what I mean? So
hmm
yeah, man.
You ever want to do modeling? You ever want to go into acting?
Do you know what? I'm
Like,
not gonna lie. When I was younger, I did try and do a bit of acting. My best friend's an actress, yeah. I wouldn't mind doing it, yeah. But like, I think I'm shit at acting. Like, the only way I could really be an actress is if I got a part that was very similar to kind of what I'm like anyway. So like, if
yeah,
it was like some sort of bad bitch, mobstress, rapper bitch,
yeah, something like that.
otherwise,
Yeah.
evil villain overlord rapper bitch, then otherwise,
Persia UK, I'm so happy to interview you. You know what I mean? The advice you gave to the women on this show, because I've been all over the place for years, it's one of the top two, right? The advice you gave for some of these women to come in, you know what I mean? Like, and one other thing too, where do you see the evolution of female rappers in the game? Because right now, the whole thing is getting played out. You know what I mean? Everybody looks the same, sounds
yeah,
the same. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
There's no morals
glad you asked,
anymore, you know?
I'm glad you asked me this question, right?
Yeah.
If you want to know what I think, go and listen to my track Different. I've actually made a track called Different. And the reason why I made Different is because something needs to be different, right? Because like everyone's trying to look like Nicki. Like my idea for that video, I didn't end up doing a video for that, but my idea for that video was like a conveyor belt with loads of female rappers coming out, just all looking like Nicki, or sounding like strippers, or sounding like Cardi, or coming out the same. Like it's coming
Uh-huh.
to the point where I rate the girls that are doing whatever they're doing, but it's becoming like an imitation factory where everyone's doing like the same thing
The
again and
same
again.
thing, and they only last about two
Yeah,
weeks, and then you don't see them again.
one
Yeah.
lot. There's one Ice Spice. Like we don't need 10 Ice Spices, right? We don't need like
Uh-huh.
50. Like we've got one Nicki and we've got one Ice Spice, and just leave it there. We don't need like everyone
Of
trying to be the
course.
same. So with female rap, yeah, if I'm honest, what I'd like to see, yeah, I'd like to see like proper kind of like, you know, the way the men have got like a scene where it's like real competition, almost like rap is a sport, and
Hmm.
real competition as when it comes to like bars, levels, leveling up,
That's
sharpening
right.
your sword, better mastery of the craft. I'd love to see female rap go into that direction where artists like Shay Noir
They're
and
afraid of it. They're afraid of it. I'm telling you, the men in the, I hate to say it, I'm sorry, guys, right?
right.
But they're afraid of it. You know what I mean? They're afraid of it. Because women actually use their mind. You know what I'm saying? Men, they use other parts. Right? Trust me, I'm standing
I
up for
just
the
think
women here
like
because that's fact. You know what I mean? That is fact.
you get me because I
Yeah.
think if women approach rap like in a more intellectual way as opposed to like almost always approaching rap from the male gaze, and the male gaze is almost always sexualizing women.
Hmm.
And I think with rap, it needs to get to the point where we're saying, nah, you're going to respect us and you're going to respect us intellectually, not in a sexual way. You're going to say,
Yes.
she's smart. Like, and that, I think as a rapper, that's always been something that I've tried to do is almost distract from, because obviously, right, I know I could sex it up probably more than I do in my music, in my
Hmm.
videos,
Hmm.
in my music,
Hmm.
everything. I could
Yes.
probably make it a lot more popular if I was in a pair of booty shorts and a bra, you know. But my thing is like as a rapper, the male gaze and the patriarchy and like this whole system behind this whole
Mm-hmm.
thing is always trying to sexualize you and turn you into an object as a woman. And you've got to remind it almost that I'm a person and I'm intelligent, and I'm going to refocus you onto my intelligence every time you get distracted from it, as opposed to distracting you with my sexuality. You get me? Because I think women are very intelligent, but women are very deep, very complex creatures. And it would be beautiful to hear more about what's in the female mind rather than just, you know, there to satiate like men's kind of fantasies or whatever.
Yeah. Like Sexy Red, no disrespects to her, but you know what I mean? But there's only one Sexy Red, and I think too, you know, like the influence on the youth too as well. You know what I mean? The kids love to hear that. So that's what's popping
Yeah,
right
but
now.
when I heard, what was it? My coochie pink, my booty hole brown, yeah. So when I
Ah,
heard
yeah. That's in your home, you know, keep that in the home.
she lost me, yeah. She lost me because to
Yeah,
me, anyone can say some fucked up shit and get attention. I could say the most fucked up shit and I'm sure it would get attention. It's shock factor.
of
It's
course.
shock value. Like anyone can do that. Like have some skill like in what you're doing. And that's what really why I don't really have respect for people that use like shock factor tactics to make it, because anyone can do some shocking crazy ass shit and get
Of
some attention.
course. Well, Persia UK, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna hear your track, Rain. Okay. And I love the hospitality. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. It makes me want to
Listen,
take it. It makes me want to take a trip out to the UK and see my
look,
family.
I got my tea, yeah. I got my cup of tea. That is so British. I wanted to bring the British vibe to your show.
Do you got your biscuits?
No biscuits, just
No,
tea.
okay. Just the tea. All right, Persia UK, we're gonna keep in contact, and I would love for you to come to Canada. I know
Love that.
we'll figure something out. We'll figure
We'll
something
talk.
out. We'll talk. All right, thank you so much, girl.
Thank you for having me, man. Honestly, big up your show. Big up for having me, and big up Toronto.
Yeah, and big ups to Dr. G. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be possible. Because I looked at his thing and I got
Love
you on it.
you, the plug.
All right, one.
I'm from money, looks like I brought the rain with me. Only pally with my day ones that came with me. They saw the struggle, the hustle, they felt the pain with me. So when I gain, it's the same people I take with me. Lord forgive me, put your hands together, pray with me. We stand together, run together, yeah we stay busy. Don't let us sin, kick in the door like the late Biggie. My people hungry and they trust me, they've got faith in me. I'm the greatest, please don't at me or debate with me. You're moving fakely, then you probably won't relate with me. I'm climbing ladders, but the adders and the snakes with me. They act the baddest, but they're rattled when they're faced with me. I face my darkest times alone, and that remains with me. Cut from a different cloth, the fabric must have changed with me. Linked up with gigs, and now people don't act the same with me. I'm not lying, I'm a lion, there's no taming me.